I am live now. I love how quickly that happens now that I'm using this different program that I was using something completely dumb last time. But hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Turnout. I am your host, Aloy. Don't forget to check out USA Audiences for special event and movie screening invites. Yeah, I can actually still say that. It's I marvel every time that I say it, and it comes out very quickly now. But yes, hi everybody. I love that you also have nothing to do on a Saturday night, but I was just watching some TV, just finished. I binged it really, really fast. I sometimes binge, sometimes don't, but I was actually able to finish the first season of Harley Quinn. So before I jumped into the second season, because the second season's also available up on HBO Max, I was very excited. I was like, oh, I had to hold back. I had to hold back for a second because I really wanted to make sure that I took a moment and kind of processed just like how awesome this show is. And I've had, okay success in the past with kind of just jumping on here and talking about it. I did it with the Game of Thrones. I also did it with Love is Blind, weirdly enough. But I wanted to kind of just jump on here, and I was like, let's just jump on and see who else isn't doing anything. I would love to see what you guys have to say about Harley Quinn if you have not watched it, or if you have watched it yourself, over in the chat. Otherwise, I just kind of want to gush about this show. So I guess I've kind of given away the bag a little bit here. The overall review of the show is, oh my god, it's so good. So I mean, the show is so good, and it was interesting because when I originally put it on, I put it on kind of as it was a weird kind of. I was trying to find something to just kind of throw on because my wife was playing on her phone, like looking at TikToks or whatever, and my kid was kind of trying to rest for the evening. And I was like, well, I'll put this on. It's, Batman related, so I'm sure it's going to be like, boring and whatnot. And the very opening scene is Harley Quinn just jumping on this boat, and excuse the expletives, and maybe I'll cut them out. I'm not exactly sure. But, basically she jumps on and goes, you don't know who the F you're effing with, and I'm gonna F, and just like used her giant mallet like on somebody's like leg, and the blood splattered everywhere. And I was like, what kind of show is this? And quickly I learned that it was exactly that kind of show. Lots of cursing, lots of gratuitous violence and blood and gore, and also some of the most kind of down to earth, kind of, I, I dare say, realistic kind of characters. Um, I mean, they're all very still cartoony and still very comic booky, but at the same time, you do still get a sense for these characters, and you kind of are like, okay, I understand the relationships between these characters. So Harley Quinn gets dumped by the Joker, and by gets dumped, he allows her to get captured and sent to Arkham for like a year. But her and Poison Ivy break out, and her and Poison Ivy become the best of friends, and they move in together, and they end up getting a crew, and they end up going and trying to do these huge heists and missions so that they can get it accepted into the Legion of Doom, which then of course it's a classic like hero's journey. They get into the Legion of Doom, which is where Harley loses herself and starts forgetting about what was important, and then she has to win it back and all of that stuff. So I mean, the tale itself is actually pretty self-explanatory, and I'm not even really giving that much away, just saying, hey, it's the classic hero's tale. um, I mean, that's just there's only a few different types of stories that humanity enjoys, so that is one of them. That's what we have here. So Harley, the cast, oh my gosh, it's interesting when I'm listening to it because it's an animated show. So I started going and looking at the cast, because the cast, as soon as I started like pointing out like different people's voices and stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, this cast is insane. So I did actually want to share with you this if you have not seen it yourself. Just kind of looking over here at the cast list. So Harley is actually Kaley Cuoco from Big Bang Theory, which I actually didn't think it was her. I thought it was oh gosh, I thought it was oh god, the little girl with the rabbit ears on Bob's Burgers. That's who I thought it was at first, but Kaley Cuoco does a really good voice here that it's really high. It doesn't sound like her, which is, I guess what you want in a good voice actor. Lake Bell does Poison Ivy. Lake Bell being from I mostly know her from Children's Hospital, but I assume she's in other stuff. I mean, it would be weird for her to not be in other stuff. I mean, she's in this, so. But yeah, so I liked Lake Bell is really good, and she delivers such a good kind of deadpan delivery for like most of the stuff that Ivy says is kind of deadpan, and I love it. Batman is Diedrich Bader. Batman's not in it that much, but I actually I didn't recognize his voice, but him and Christopher Maloney plays Commissioner Gordon. The two of them have some amazing scenes between the two of them. Alan Tudyk is Clayface. That got me. I was like, what? That's so awesome. So awesome. Dr. Psycho is Tony Hale from Buster, from Arrested Development. Jason Alexander plays Sy Borgman. I thought it was the dumbest name, but I found it funny. Ron Funches was the one that I recognized King Shark's voice, and that's the one that got me to go and look at who it was. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Ron Funches. He has a very recognizable voice. Giancarlo Esposito being Lex Luthor. That was I was like, oh, I know exactly whose voice that is. If you don't know Giancarlo Esposito, obviously he's from oh gosh, what's the name of it? Breaking Bad. He's obviously from Breaking Bad, Gus from Breaking Bad, but oh my god, he's so really good. JB Smoove, it was Frank the Plant, and it sounded like it was JB Smoove. I wasn't sure, and I was very happy that I was actually right on that. Wanda Sykes, obvious voice, when you hear her. And Jim Rash as the Riddler. Frankie Muniz plays Frankie Muniz. That's a whole thing. I'm not going to spoil that for you guys. But what I noticed when I was looking at this cast is that it's a lot of the same people who have worked kind of together in the past, right? So I noticed like the big ones for me were all of the people who are associated with Curb Your Enthusiasm. Okay. So if you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, then, that's with Larry David and all that stuff. So anybody from Seinfeld is associated with him. So that's Jason Alexander. JB Smoove is on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and so is Wanda Sykes. Jim Rash has been on there as well. So that's already just a bunch of people kind of coming from this side. Wayne Knight playing the Penguin right there. Andrew Daly has been on Curb Your Enthusiasm. So many people here have been on Curb Your Enthusiasm. The biggest one for me was when you get to meet Harley Quinn's mom. I'm trying to see if that one is here. Yeah. The mom and the grandma, it says here, are played by Susie Essman, also Curb Your Enthusiasm. So there was just a ton of people from, and Curb Your Enthusiasm has been a show that's been on HBO for a while. So that wasn't necessarily surprising because, if you have a whole bunch of, excellent people kind of there, why not use them? And I accidentally clicked it off. But I really like the fact that all of the other people's, like Alan Tudyk, he's been in a ton of things. He's been doing a lot more voice acting recently, and he is Clayface. It has here, and Clayface is probably one of my favorite characters. Him and King Shark, they're very much kind of ancillary, kind of side characters, but they get some of the best lines. They get some of the best stuff. And JB Smoove as Frank the Plant. Frank the Plant, that is correct. He gets a lot of really good lines. But again, I don't actually want to like give away too much, right? I'm trying to leave a lot of it up to you to go and watch it. But what I will say is that what it does is it definitely gives gratuitous violence, bloody, but also comical and at times pretty heartfelt episodes and a depiction of this character. For me, Harley Quinn has always been kind of, the Joker's girlfriend. And this show is specifically fighting against that idea. And that's actually the thing that I most like about it, is that it really is trying to define who Harley is. One of the things that you find out is that in her memory, her origin story is like all kind of like, wonky, because she believes that the Joker pushed her into the vat of whatever that turned her into Harley. But then she remembers, sorry, brain fart. Then she remembers and she's like, no, I jumped. So this was all my choice. And I thought that was really, really cool. And you also get to meet her family, as I mentioned before. And you really kind of go through all the ups and downs of what it's like to be Harley Quinn. So they do a really, really good job with the show, not only getting you to like Harley Quinn. If you already didn't like her, I would say go ahead and watch the show, because you might end up liking her if you didn't like her before, and you would like her even more if you liked her before and now you watch the show. But it actually gave me a lot of appreciation for how much humor is in the show, and how much humor is kind of there for DC. And they poke fun at themselves a lot. There's a reoccurring bad guy, obviously Kite Man, who comes in, and Kite Man is probably one of the lamest super villains ever created, except for possibly Polka Dot Man, if you've ever seen him. Even though Polka Dot Man is actually, his powers are awesome, but he's stupid. But but I like the inclusion of Kite Man. Also, the version of Bane that's in this cartoon is the Dark Knight Returns version of Bane. So he talks like this all the time, and I love the fact that they're really taking the time to poke fun at these characters. One of my very favorite scenes, I will spoil this a little bit, is the Joker comes to the Legion of Doom and says, I need so many billions of dollars because I want to create a tower that's going to do all of this stuff, and then my face will pop out of it, and it's a giant thing. And they're just like, that seems gratuitous. Why are we have to build a whole brand new tower? Why don't we take one that's already there and renovate it? It's like, I love that there are budget meetings for the Legion of Doom. That kind of thing is, I don't know, maybe I'm just easily entertained, but I really, really dug it. And again, the cast of characters in this show and the amount of care that you can tell has gone into making sure that the right voice actors are there, that all the direction in these episodes, all of them are expertly handled. And again, there's just a whole lot of just really, really funny things that you would not expect to see in a cartoon. It's hard to call this a cartoon. It's more just kind of, if they did a Harley Quinn movie but made it animated like this, then I would watch the hell out of that thing. I'd watch the hell out of that thing. Anyway, this show is so good. So if you get the chance to go and check out Harley Quinn, the first and second seasons are up on HBO Max. And that's what I've been doing. I've been watching a lot of Doctor Who. I've been watching a lot of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and just basically as much as I can on HBO Max since I just got it. So yeah, I might do another video of me kind of talking about my love for the kind of the different doctors. Because that's an interesting conversation that I've had on Facebook, but I should probably bring it on here because I would love to hear what you guys think about that as well. What I'll say, though, is that there's a lot of stuff on HBO Max that I do enjoy, and I don't mind paying the fee for it. Some other things I was like, well, let me cancel that because I don't care about that. Apple Arcade came out, and I was like, I played it for like 2 days and I was like, yeah, no, thank you. I'm not going to pay $5 a month for this. but this show, Harley Quinn season 1, should probably get back on track, is so, so good. I would put it up there as probably one of my favorite new shows that have come out. And for anybody who was wondering where the video from a couple of days ago went, it was news about Buffy. and I found out that the site that that news was posted to was a satirical site, so it was not real. There was no there was no news for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I apologize for getting anybody's hopes up. But it is what it is. I was super excited and spent a lot of time recording and editing that video, and just to turn out that it was like, oh, it's fake, I guess. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this live review of Harley Quinn. I did enjoy it, and I did have a couple of people pop into the chat, so thank you so much for popping in there and saying hello. Otherwise, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, so you always know when we post a video here up on the Turnout. It will also make sure that you get alerts when we go live. We actually haven't gone live for quite a while now at this point, but I'm going to try to get back into doing that more often, because I always do have a ball doing these. Otherwise, this has been the Turnout. That's not my ending. Otherwise, I've been your host, Aloy. This has been the Turnout. Thanks for showing up. See you later.